beginning with a quick recap of what happened last week on the show.
Or maybe
just to say the exact same shots of blood flying around as when Keiichi.
It's so funny. Like we give them shit for like reusing the Rika dance, but we're seeing this exact blood splatter sequence for the third time now. Like it's great. I don't hate this, but just like it's so silly. So silly. So where does the dress even come from? Oh, I'm so sad. It's not even that my theory is wrong. It's like it's just there. It makes me sad. How are they going to try and win this over? Is it with a genuine heartfelt story or is it with just ham? Because either way, I'm excited. I just want it to be good.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point I hadn't really considered. Is I have kind of been assuming along the way that this show is going to resolve with like a good ending kind of, but like a good ending or a sequel bait. But we're going to kind of lean on the idea that a version of them is left behind. But the thing that kind of interests me is with this little time left, how we're going to get that potential ending, because we kind of have to have that other Sadako we saw last episode come back in a way.
We had that huge episode, and yeah, that's the thing. Can you really kill an idea or an emotion? Is it possible to completely erase them? That's kind of the narrative we're leaning on right now. It's time.
This is oh
the dance.
God, not again.
That said, I wonder if we might get something a little bit different this time based on the manga, but I don't know. No, we'll see.
The thing, I guess, that dialogue there has just kind of pointed out is that, like, in this fiction here, Sadako doing time loop is, like, powerful enough to meet up to Hanyu's actions in the original story, but she's also, like, still preventing it.
Yeah, dude. I mentioned this in Go. I want to say that, like, in terms of the mathematics of fate, like, Sadako's power is stronger than the entire club combined, and that includes Hanyu, right?
Now, that's one way to break into the real estate market.
I love that line. It's such a, like, ghost girl line. Like, see, this is your house too, and now you can live here forever.
I was still very much expecting this to be Uishi.
No. I mean, from the moment you said it, I was like, that's probably what's going on, but that's fine.
Because, I mean, in terms of, like, you know, mystery stories, that's one of the core ingredients, is telling us that it's got to be two things, and either that it is both or neither.
I mean, we were foreshadowed this by the baseball game, when she was doing quite a bit better than she normally does. So
I wouldn't really have thought of that as foreshadowing for this.
I will. For new viewers, it absolutely is.
Oh yeah, for new viewers, definitely. But,
yeah, I mean, for us, we're like, we're just like seeing it
just always been good.
Because that's another like classic horror trope when you're like, ooh, ha ha, like just transition. But no, I like that she's using the narrative of like, yeah, he started screaming like crazy, like he was trying to protect me or something. Like she's using the exact same narrative that all the other characters have. I love his eyes.
I know.
Like
they're really doing a great job of just making it look really intense.
It's great. I mean, it's a kind of interesting remixing of the cat eyes from the original show, right? Because that was such an iconic look of like the you know.
That's right. He's gonna drop the bat off to the grave instead of flowers.
Yeah, that's it. So that would be pretty great, actually.
Also, I absolutely love indirectly. I'd only just thought of this, but it's staggeringly obvious in hindsight. This is basically the relationship between Oishi and Keiichi and Onakakashi.
Yeah, you did.
That's really good, actually. I love that.
Yeah, they're really playing off of their like established relation really well, even though they haven't talked that much.
Oishi even has the bat. That's how direct they're going with it.
It's great, dude.
Kind of genius.
Oh man, that poor guy needs to not stumble into walls so much.
Oh my god, I swear to god, if Oishi ends up in a phone booth to end this arc...
Dude,
he's like calling his
calls Kuma-chan. Oh my god. That's all I want.
Really hoping that we just kind of like cut from this scene and do something else, because as great as this scene is, I don't need to see it again.
It's just uncomfortable to watch it again, right? Like,
yeah. Come on, and red clouds.
Let's leave this doomed world. Oh, that's a pretty good shot. Was it like that in the original showing?
Exactly
that like red shit?
Yeah. I mean, I was really excited to see the clouds show up, but once again,
no, I don't.
They've become an indicator of things that didn't need to be here.
It's true.
Just like they are in the VN.
Yeah, dude.
Listen, Oishi, I hate to break it to you. I don't
You may be
think-
hurting her ability to talk. You may not be hitting the right place on her body for her to speak to you.
Wait,
Ren is just chilling
Ren is
there.
still here?
She's
Wasn't
still here,
like the
dude.
whole thing that she got away and didn't see the end of it?
I am so curious. What is this? That's pretty good. Yo.
Oh, yes. Oh my god.
Is
This
this-
means Renan knew about
this
this
is
when
great.
she spoke to Keiichi.
Fuck, dude. Rena just watches this happen. Oh, she's getting some
I appreciate
PTSD.
them putting certain in italics this time.
No. I'd love to see that. I would actually love to see Hanyu and Yua have a conversation. I think that'd be really trippy and cool.
It would be. It
Um,
would be.
The crossing of the universes, as it
Mhm.
were. Well, that was fun. I mean, we didn't get like a lot of, you know.
That's right. I
know.
think we've said our piece on that. Like, it was a lot
Yeah.
of fun, but the concerns remain, right?
We said at the start of the episode how we felt about the end of the episode. I think
Yep.
it's pretty clear. I'm still in my heart of hearts hoping that we'll get the rest of the club members come in and save everything chapter,
Mhm.
because there are other people in the world who can have flashbacks. It's not just Teppei.
Yeah.
Even though at this current moment, according to the maths of Higurashi, Teppei matters more than any of the club members, aside from Sadako and Rika, obviously. But like, Rena could have a flashback to that moment, like, or any of the club members could, you know, like if that might be something that's on the table.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be to some extent because we've seen all of
Because
this
we cut
art.
away from that so quickly. Come on,
Yeah.
Rena, do your flashback or do it. It only costs you a little bit of stress. Just do it.
Shout out to John Harper.
Shout out to John Harper. I'm still just waiting for like the cool new shit. Like we got a lot of cool stuff this arc. We had the identity battle within
Yeah.
Sadako. We had Yua goading her on and being a more active participant. We've had the tea party motif. We saw some cool stuff in this episode about how everything really went down, and Rena's horrible trauma. And Sadako's moment of just walking out with a gun and being like, I am the orchestrator of the curse. Oishi, bang. It's great.
It was really good. It was really
It
good.
was a really great moment.
I mean, once again, these like I think the endings of a lot of these
Shout out to Takano,
stories
by the
have
way.
been like really punchy.
Really powerful. It's a shame how long it takes to get there.
Yeah, Wada Akashi was like phenomenal at the end, and that scene there was really lovely.
It was.
I guess also like the end of Teppei's journey into Tari Akashi here was so
the
good.
climactic scenes of the individual character arcs and also the structural arcs of the plot, the climactic scenes have been really good based on how they're being built up.
Yeah, it's just like the connecting tissue
just-
isn't.
The connecting tissue doesn't feel as satisfying to view, I think. But you know, that's
I'll be interested to see how this ages as well. I feel like the things that are weak about this show, I feel will age very well. Because it's the kind of thing where you could come back to SOTSU and watch SOTSU stand alone without having to also rewatch Go and get all of those good moments with enough reframing.
you can see it again. You can a refresher.
So
essentially.
I
You get a
think
refresher in here.
like whilst this season may be like a little slow in its execution now, it'll actually end up turning out well in the long run. Like
Well, we'll
the
see.
long run.
20 years from now, it will finally become a good show.
I mean, like you joke, but in a lot of ways, that's how some things work. Especially with Higurashi being a franchise that's been around for long enough for that to be true in some ways.
Right. I mean, well, that's the thing. It was 2002. So it's almost been 20 years. I hope we will get another 20th century. Sorry, 20th anniversary music album from Dai. That'd be my hope for next year.
The last thing that I said to Ben before we began is that there's something that he might not like, and here it is.
Oh no. Do I not like Hanyu? Is that my
You've
reputation
complained
now?
at length about
Like-
Hanyu in
like-
the past, and
Oh,
as we all know, there is no nuance to any actions on the
It's true.
internet.
There's no nuance. It's like how I passed out at the sight of blood, and I hate Shion with a fire of passion.
Exactly.
And Rena can never be in an arc that I don't like.
Mhm.
These are all absolute facts written in red blood.
Red blood. Oh, nice sword.
This is cool. And now I'm going to get
Oh
clowned
my
in the comments.
God.
People being like, actually, Baby
Baby
Rika.
Rika being
There she
stalked
is.
by Hanyu.
Cage of my own loneliness. The bird in the cage. The bird in the cage.
Actually, that's something that this show's touched on that I thought was pretty weird, but never really like cared to elaborate on. But the idea that these loops do have a start rather than being like properly eternal is an interesting idea.
Yeah. There was a first loop, right, for all these characters. There was a beginning somewhere.
Because that's like one of the attractions of a lot of like ideas of looping to me is that
philosophically
that dichotomy between the idea that we kind of don't understand the before and after of our lives, but that is finite, whereas we can't understand the like immensity of eternity and always imagine it having a beginning and an end when it doesn't. This really doesn't feel like
a lot of these in the original show.
I don't know why they chose that to do the screen shake.
No, that was terrible. That was really bad, but it did feel like the original show. At least there were a lot of those in the show.
Never to be seen again until
somehow Hanyu returned.
Sadako got too horny.
Exactly right. Do you think she'll come back to like grab Sadako, like because you know how we saw good Sadako disappear a couple. I know I'm calling them good and evil Sadako, and this isn't a black and white situation, but let's be real, it's good and evil Sadako. We saw good Sadako disappear. Do you think maybe Hanyu will show up to like drag good Sadako out or be part of that final conflict? Because that could be kind of fun.
It's a thought that has crossed my mind because like there's obviously that like, kind of like I guess comparison of innocence between Hanyu and Featherin that they like very explicitly have right then in the intro.
Featherin was like, "Oh, you powerless girl, you can't do anything."
Yeah.
So it would be most entertaining for her to have that expectation chatted, you know?
Get to see it 3 whole times just for fun.
Yay, just for fun. My favorite part of the show. It's almost as many times as the Rika dance.
Of course, awesome. Right. She's just watching this. I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's the kind of thing that like they set up and I'm like, oh wow, that's really cool and has great implications. But every time they show me, I'm like, oh yeah.
You know what that does indicate though? If this is when Sadako figures out about the sword didn't seem to exist in Watadamashi. Where's the sword? Because I had assumed that Sadako had taken it to stop Rika from killing herself.
Yeah, totally.
I'm very interested to see where that sword actually is. Although this is a great callback. It's a great callback to when Sadako, I believe, actually hid in the shrine during a game of hide and seek. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Thank you for catching us up to date.
Look, I had assumed that's because Sadako was... Oh, it is there. Well, so why is it not there in Watadamashi? Might skip it entirely. Oh, she's doing evil things again. There she goes, looking evil again.
Oh, right. They're just going to give us a montage of her giving the jabs, aren't they?
The jabs, yeah.
Wow, we're not even going to get these ones. We're just doing them again.
Well, there's going to be some important details in here, maybe.
Well, the important details that we've gotten so far is Sadako showing off.
Go back like 4 or 5 episodes to when I first said, why are we're getting so many Sadako evil asides. Like, great.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're good fun, and I feel like they'll age well, but they're definitely a little weird to sit through week after week. You lose track with all of these evil Sadako asides.
There's a lot of them. They're their own brand of horror comedy.
Yeah, this is the new merch opportunity. They're done with gacha games. The pose.
Kill me then?
Oh, yes.
What is this nonsense?
Stupid. Complete waste of time.
It is. She could just let her kill her.
I know.
No, she's like, I gotta anime dodge these swords real quick. So stupid. She's like, if nobody kills me but me, is what she's saying.
Yeah, right.
So dumb.
So where on the banks do you think Sadako was standing during all this?
In the reeds, I hope. Unfortunately, it's very difficult for her to figure out.
She's just like on the floor of the swamp here. Like
she's lying on the bottom,
tank, just watching.
No, I imagine she has a little like pipe or whatever that leads up to the surface.
The stopwatch. This bit particularly here with Keiichi, like I'm having fun, is really different to how any of the club members have quite had the syndrome manifest previously.
It is very different.
Thank you. I'm honored to hear you say something like that, Awa. Whoa!
Yay! Is it Hanyu time?
How did we manage this? Also, I swear to God, if they imply that competent Rika only exists because Hanyu was resurrected with EDM.
That sounds right to me. All right, I guess we'll have to wait till next episode to see what happens there.
Showdown coming up soon.
Well, we'll see how that goes. But I mean, look, I'm ready for more Hanyu. I'm ready for her to do some cool stuff, throw some cards at people, go full Joker.
I don't follow.
Because it was the whole thing about the trump card of the Joker, and they play old maid.
Oh, right, of course.
You're not paying attention to the thematic storylines.
I just hadn't really associated, that specifically playing cards with being her thing so much as just the concept of, the winning piece.
Sure. I suppose so. The winning piece in a chess game, perhaps.
Well, I mean,
I think that's much more Higurashi, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Well, I should say
Listen, I'm not trying to say that I'm not being dumb here, but I'm just trying to tell you what happened. I'm definitely being a little dumb.
That's okay. It only happens once every 10 years when you get bored enough.
All right. Well, unless they surprisingly announce more episodes after episode 15, this is the second. Next is going to be the second last week of SOTSU for us. So I'm excited to see what happens here. We will see you next time with episodes 13 and 14. And then episode 15 is going to be pretty much like the day after it comes out. So that'll be wild.
Yeah, that'll be super fun. I'm hoping and praying for a miracle. Don't let me down, Ryukishi.
He never has, and he never will.
It's true. I've never heard Ryukishi repeat himself.